Tonight I'm going to be making one of my very special favorite dishes in the world. This is actually a soup recipe. You know I'm not a big soupy, right? I'm going to be making my mom's amazing yogurt soup, but as usual I'm going to put my little twist on it. It's just like a warm hug, something that you would look forward to at the end of a long, hard week. So let's get cooking. So let me walk you through my ingredients. It's actually very simple. So we need some rice, white rice, and then I'm gonna need a little bit of white flour, all-purpose flour, little yogurt, and 1 egg yolk. That's all we need. But I told you I'm gonna amp the nutrition of this soup, so I'm gonna be adding some fresh spinach. So it's gonna be delicious, but it's also super, super nutritious. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cook the rice because this is gonna take the longest. And once the rice is cooked, it's literally 5 minutes just to finish the recipe. So at home, I actually have arborio rice, which is like a risotto type rice. But for this, you can use jasmine, you can use any kind of rice you like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 handfuls and I'm going to drop it into my saucepan here. You know, I don't really measure things. I like to use my hands as measurements. You know, the cups, grams is difficult for me. Because this is how I learned from my mom. She eyeballs everything and guess what? Every time it's perfect. So first I'm gonna wash the rice and then I'm gonna put some clean water in here because we're making soup, right? I'm not gonna use the tap water, so I'm gonna put some water here and we're gonna essentially cook the rice over medium-high heat for about 10-15 minutes. So I put a good 2-inch or so water into the saucepan and now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. This is our one chance to really flavor the soup. So I'm gonna give this a little stir and we are going to let it cook. So this should take around 10-15 minutes. So the rice is nice and tender, but I like my rice a little al dente, so I'm gonna leave it to your liking. In the meantime, let's go ahead and chop our spinach. So spinach is of course full of fiber, it's full of calcium, it has lots of great benefits. All greens are actually really good for you. So by adding spinach to this recipe, I'm really fortifying it. And I love anything with spinach, so for me it's perfect combination. You could also do kale, that would also be delicious, and spinach cooks in no time. So I'm essentially going to cook the rice and then I'm gonna drop the spinach and then we will do a little taming of the soup, which I'm gonna tell you in a second, to give the soup the nice creamy texture. The other thing with spinach is you always have a lot of it and then it goes to nothing because it wilts a lot. So make sure you have enough, otherwise you won't have any. Guys, who's excited for Christmas? I'm beyond excited, honestly. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to resting a bit, recharging the batteries, and yeah, just kind of reflecting on 2020. Yeah, it's been an insane year for all of us. So we're all hopeful and positive about 2021. You see how much spinach I have here, but I tell you it's gonna be nothing at the end of the cooking process. Guys, you can do lots of different variations with this soup, by the way. You can put saffron, that would be delicious. You could do paprika, you can do different kind of spices. You could add curry and try to take it to a more kind of an Indian route. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you this thing which we call terbiye. Terbiye means sort of taming the soup. So the way to tame the soup is we're gonna be actually mixing egg yolk with yogurt with a little flour. So this is going to thicken up the soup. It's gonna make it nice and thick and creamy, and it's gonna make it rich, of course, because of the egg yolk and the yogurt. So that's the point of taming the soup, but it's a very delicate process, and I'm gonna share with you the tips in a second. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to separate this egg. So I'm gonna save the egg white for a nice little omelette tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna use the egg yolk in this recipe. So you want to be gentle and patient with the egg whites. You make sure all of it drops down, because we don't really want the egg white in our recipe. Perfect. So the rice has come to a boil, so now I reduce the heat to a medium and I'm gonna let it simmer. Guys, Bruno's under the weather. He's had some trouble with his health, so he's having a little nap, and I'm just making myself a nice warm cup of soup because I also need a warm hug. Now into my egg yolk, I'm going to add some yogurt. I'm using some Greek yogurt, but you can use regular yogurt. I just love Greek yogurt because it's so rich. So I'm just gonna add about 2.5 tablespoons of Greek yogurt into the egg yolk. Then we're gonna add flour, because flour adds texture to the soup. It's gonna make it thick. And honestly, there's no low carb way of doing this. So we're gonna go all carb with this soup, with the rice, with the flour, but I promise you it's gonna be so good. So I'm gonna put 1 heaping tablespoon of flour. That's it, you don't need a lot. So I'm gonna give this mixture a nice little mix here, little stir. We wanna make sure the egg whites, the flour and the yogurt are all consistently combined. Now the one big, huge mistake people make with this soup is they will make this taming mixture and then they're gonna drop it into the rice. What happens is egg cooks, right? So you're gonna have a scrambly egg yogurt soup. Disgusting, exactly. And the soup will tell you, it will just completely break. So to make sure that you get a homogeneous and proper soup, we are going to temper the egg. Tempering the egg means we're gonna take some of the hot liquid and we are going to put it slowly into this mixture as I stir it, which makes sure that the temperature of the egg yolk comes to the same temperature as the soup before integration. I know, it's pure science, right? It's actually pretty simple, but if you rush it, you're gonna mess it up. So at this point, the spinach is chopped up, ready to go. I got my taming mixture ready to go. My rice is cooking. It's really a matter of minutes. We're gonna be having this wonderful cup of soup. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit of salt and pepper to the soup. And a little black pepper. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my spinach now because the rice is almost cooked. So I wanna wilt the spinach down. So let's add this lovely, lovely ingredient. By the way, it's the first time I'm doing the spinach version, huh? But I thought, why not? I like to modernize recipes. It's perfect, green. So as my spinach cooks, I'm gonna go ahead and start the tempering process for the mixture, okay? So I take a little hot liquid. I take 1 little spoon, you see. As I'm dropping into my mixture, I start to mix. So this way, it's not shocking the egg, okay? So mix it well. Let's do another spoon. So we get another spoonful, and again, we incorporate that into the mixture. Yeah, the ultimate goal is to bring both temperatures to the same level. This is something I think Popeye would eat. It's actually also a very kid-friendly recipe. I find it kid-friendly because kids don't like vegetables, so why not throw it into this soup, which I'm sure they're going to love. So you see, I continue taking spoonfuls and just tempering my mixture. Guys, again, be patient with this process. Don't do a couple of tablespoons and dump it there because it will curdle up for you. So just take your time. No rush, right? No rush. Actually, in the Middle East, I've never really seen yogurt-based soup, so this is maybe a Turkish thing, I'm not sure. But give it a try. Honestly, it's super good, super healthy for you, and it's really one of my favorites. Perfect. So we've done enough tempering because now I can feel the bowl. The bowl is quite warm. Now this is what I'm gonna do, and this is the key point. As you're dropping this, do it slowly and stir the mixture. Stir the soup as you're dropping this slowly. So, ready? Let's do it. Just like that. This way, everything's gonna mingle with each other and you're not gonna have a curdling situation. Beautiful. Just gonna keep stirring. Oh my goodness, it looks so amazing. Okay, now because we have flour in this mixture, it's gonna thicken up, and of course rice has starch, so it's gonna thicken up for you the more you keep it on the stove. So let's give the soup a little try. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove this from the heat, and I'm gonna show you a little trick what we do to kind of put a little finishing touch on the soup. I have a little pan here, saucepan. I'm gonna put some olive oil. We're gonna bring the olive oil to a little bit of a bubbling situation, and then I'm gonna add some mint, and I'm gonna add some chili flakes, and then I'm gonna pour that all over the soup. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ladle my soup into my pretty bowl here. Look at how good that looks. Now I can smell the olive oil, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the dried mint. Smells so good. It starts bubbling up, and then some chili flakes. Now this is optional, of course. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. But it really dresses up the soup. And because the soup is colder and this is hotter, you're gonna hear a sound. Okay. When the mint and the pepper hit the oil, it's just intoxicating, the aroma. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now you don't want to burn this, so just keep an eye on it. You don't want to burn it. You just want the flavor to infuse into the olive oil. And honestly, this is the only oil that the soup is gonna have, okay, other than the yogurt. Amazing. You ready for the finishing touch? That's exactly what we need to hear. Guys, that's it. So this is my minty yogurt soup with spinach. Buon appetito! Guys, I can't wait to try this. It's looking so good. I'm gonna give it a little stir. Oh. All right. Let's give it a go. It's so yummy. The rice is cooked perfectly. It's spicy, it's minty, it's spinachy. It's just like a warm hug, I'm telling you. So this is something that we're gonna curl up now. Bruno and myself with my little soup. Thanks for watching Gourmet Next Door. See you next time. And if you have any recipes that you want to see on my YouTube channel, please let me know. I will cook it for you. Of course, with my own little twist. Thanks everyone. Ciao.